Hi, everyone. This is Janelle Henry from the Career Development Center. Today, we're going to be talking about choosing a major. Choosing a major is a very important step in your college career. You may be deciding on a major, or you may be actually deciding to change your major. So this workshop can help you in both situations. So let's get started. Okay, so today we are going to make sure that you are able to summarize your skills, your abilities, your interests, your values, and how that can help you to make career choices and academic choices. We're also going to make sure that you know how to align academic majors with your interests. Okay, so we kind of have a little bit of a pop quiz. I'm going to skip through the second one, but we'll start with Mr. Ashton Kutcher. I want to ask you all, what was his major? Does anyone have any ideas of what his major was? If we were in person, obviously, I would have you raise your hand and those kind of things. But for the purposes of this, he was a biochemical engineering major. I am not sure if he ever portrayed one of those as an actor, but that is a very different major than anything you would probably think that an actor would ever have. And actually, I'm not going to skip over the second one. I am going to say Natalie Portman. Any ideas about what her major was? And this is kind of a little two-part question of what is her major and where did she go? Oh my gosh, she was a psychology major at Harvard. Wow. Again, not necessarily a major that you might think about for an actress, nor thinking about actresses coming from Harvard, but very important. And it just goes to really show that your undergraduate major does not dictate the rest of your life. Um, so educational decisions that you're starting to make and then career decisions are among some of the most important decisions that you'll make in your life. And frankly, it could be some of the very first decisions that you've ever had to make on your own without the parentals helping you. Um, so some things that might be going through in your mind right now is what will I major in? Should I go to graduate school after I'm finished? What career or what industry do I want to work in? All of these questions are floating around your mind. And I think the number one reason why people have fear of making these decisions is because they don't want to make the wrong decision. That will affect them for the rest of their lives. So, fear is a major piece of why college students drag their feet, don't act quickly on the things that they're thinking about because they don't want to make the wrong decision. They're worried that it can impact them for the rest of their lives. Is there going to be work in that field? So, fear is the number one reason. But I also want to make sure that you remember that you're not choosing what you're going to do for the rest of your life. Your major that you choose in undergrad will neither predict nor guarantee your future. You will change your careers almost once every 3 years. In your lower teens and early 30s. After that, you might stay in a little bit longer, but we are not a society that does the same job for 30 years. My goodness, that would be boring if I wanted to do the same thing for 40 plus years. So make sure that you know that this is just your starting off point. Maybe you want to call it your launch pad. It will help you go forward in your career, in your future, but it's not going to predict the entire rest of your life. There is no perfect or right major for you, but that also means there's no wrong one for you. You can do a lot of things with a lot of different majors. I have seen science majors go to law school. I have seen psychology majors go on for engineering. So it doesn't necessarily always dictate the same path. Take the blinders off and know that you can do a lot of different things with a lot of majors. Can you change your mind once you get going down the road? Absolutely. Don't allow anyone to tell you any different. Might it change how long you're here at Kutztown or in college? Yeah, it might do that. But in the long run, making sure that you are pursuing the major that you are going to love and be interested in is not important, is not as important as, or let me rewind. How long you're at college is not as important as you being happy in the major that you're in. Sorry about that. Okay, so here's some steps. And we're going to go through each of these individually, but here's some steps in making major choices and career choices. The first one is to learn about yourself, and we'll go much deeper into that. Next one is to gather information about majors, maybe careers right away, but then when it's time to start job searching, you're definitely going to start researching those careers. Then I need you to start evaluating, start taking stock into what is actually out there, and then declare and commit to your major and commit to the first type of career that you want to take after graduation. Okay, rewind back to learning about yourself. It's time to stop. It's time to take a deep breath and start thinking about you. Start asking yourselves, what do you want to learn while you're in college? Another question that career people sometimes ask is, if you could change what a part of the world, what would it be? If you could make a difference in the part of the world, what would you want to learn about so that you can make those differences or you can make those changes? You would start by thinking about, what are your interests? What do you love to do? What do you not like to do? Skills. What are you good at? What are you not so good at? Your values, not just religious values, but those core values that you live by on a daily basis. And then what's your personality type? I don't think my outgoing personality would do me very well in a numbers type job or in a quiet situation. I need an atmosphere that's going to take my personality and be okay with it. So what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses? I'm just going to pause for 1 second for you to think about that. This is a very common interview question, is what are 2 strengths and what are 2 weaknesses? If we were in a room and we were together again, I would have you share those things. But for right now, I just want you to think about yourself. Okay, so now you've done that. You've thought about yourself. You've really analyzed who you are and what you love to do. The next piece is to then go out and start gathering information about majors that Kutztown has to offer you and the career choices that are out there in the current world. The resource that I want to share with you today is Candid Careers. Kutztown.edu/Candid Career is the quick website for candidcareer.com. Candid Career is where you can go in and you can watch, oh my gosh, thousands of videos, very much set up like YouTube, where you go in and you watch a video, someone who is in the same career path that you're interested in. So you could do some informational interviews where you go in and you watch, wow, someone who is a business analyst. I would really love to hear somebody talk about that. Go to Candid Careers and talk about, type in business analyst and listen to them talking about it. Go and listen to a lot of those different recorded videos. Those are professionals that are in their field who are willing to share their experiences and who want to share with you what the pluses and minuses might be of that field. So Candid Career is a great resource. Other places that you can gather information for your search for a major or a career, obviously the Kutztown website. Each academic department has a lot of resources on theirs websites. We have some great resources in the Career Development Center. The first one being the Major Discovery Series. This is where we as the Career Development Center has compiled information about the skills and the abilities that a person who is and I'm just going to use psychology as an example, a psychology major needs. What are their interests? What are some sample job titles that a psychology major might take into play? And then on the back of all the Major Discovery Series is a sample resume for you to use. So making sure that you check out Major Discovery Series. The next resource is What Can I Do with a Major In? That is an external resource that we subscribe to. You can click on psychology as the major or whatever it is that you are or thinking about, and it will go to another resource that will give you just more information. Um, Informational interviewing and job shadowing. We talked about that a little bit with Candid Career, but the other piece of that is job shadowing. Try to be a fly on the wall to experience what happens on a daily basis in the industry you're interested in, or with someone who is doing the job you're interested in. That can be a really valuable opportunity to walk away going, yes, or, oh, that's not what I thought. And that's okay if you walk away from a job shadow with that. The next piece is related experience, and we'll get into this a little bit more later, of volunteering or working or doing an internship within that area of interest of yours. And then campus involvement. Get involved on campus. There's tons of clubs and organizations that are related to your major and who can build skills and abilities for you, for your resume and for your future. Okay, so this is just a little bit of information that we added in. Here are some of the world's industries that struggle to find good people who stay. Logistics, healthcare, tech, business functions, education, skilled trades, public safety. That's some 7 places where there's definitely going to be jobs. The next is just a little reminder, and if this is the only thing that you take away from today is just this little picture of a pyramid going up, is you can't get to that professional employment up at the top without doing the things at the bottom. And it's kind of the same with skill building or building up to what major to be or what career to be. You can't get up here without doing this work. So remembering that pyramid type format. All right. The next one is to evaluate. I don't think any of us purchase homes or purchase cars or purchase major things without evaluating options. It's the same with majors and careers. You want to make sure that you prioritize your options. How can this combined? How can this one job combine your interests, or is this one only leaving one interest on the table? Making sure that you talk with people here at the university. Obviously, we're here in the Career Development Center to work with you through career counseling, but you also can sit with someone in your academic department, your faculty, your parents, making sure that you sit in on a class if you're thinking of changing your major or going into a specific major, and then obviously making sure that you sit down and talk with us in the Career Center. And then after you're ready, commit to it. Make the decision for that major or for that career. If you're changing your major or declaring your major, you need to go to that academic department. So if you are declaring psychology, as an example, you will need to head over to Old Main and talk to someone in the academic department, or you can call them or Zoom them. So making sure that you get in touch with that academic department to learn their process for changing and or declaring. After you declare, you'll then get your new faculty advisor, and you'll want to meet with them to make sure that you have your major check sheet with the list of all the classes and know what you need to take, and then to start scheduling for the next semester with that new academic advisor. Obviously, you're then going to come to us in the Career Development Center to discuss getting some related experiences, some internships, some summer jobs, whatever it is that's in that field that's going to help you grow as a young professional. Okay, just to kind of wrap up, now that we've talked about that, and everyone who views this is going to be in a completely different situation, I want you to make sure that you articulate for yourself on a piece of paper, what's one thing, what's an action item you can do for yourself for choosing a major or choosing a career, if you're already after that point, in the next upcoming 7 days, by the end of this semester, or by the end of the calendar year. So I want you to think about that, and I will end the video at this point, but I do want to say, make sure that you look at those action items for yourselves, tuck them in somewhere, and make sure that you complete them. So with that being said, everyone have a great afternoon, and we'll talk to you soon.